Man, it's great. It's great to see WWE getting what they deserve, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Man. You know, NXT happened tonight. And I don't even feel like talking about NXT. I don't even feel like talking about what happened on NXT. It was that unimportant. Nothing happened outside of a Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair promo that built towards their title match at TakeOver Phoenix. Nothing happened. There was a Keith Lee Cassius Ohno match, and I'll talk about it in brief. I'm not going to go over the majority of NXT like I usually do. I just don't care. It was not an entertaining show that built enough to get me excited about TakeOver Phoenix. And I'm not going to blame them for that because they know what they have lined up for Phoenix. I mean, I'm excited about Phoenix just by the fucking lineup of the matches that they have on the card already. Baszler versus Bianca Belair, I'm excited for. Johnny Gargano and Ricochet, I'm excited for. Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black, I mean, who the fuck wouldn't be excited about that? War Raiders versus Undisputed Era, look, they got their shit set. So, this is not Monday Night Raw, where they haven't built anything up. This shit's been building up for fucking months. So, we don't really need that much explanation in any of these feuds, except Bianca and Shayna. This is all right there on the table, and it's been there for the months watching this show. So, if they have a week or 2 weeks that are, very iffy, it's not going to really matter to anybody. There's much bigger stories to tackle on Wednesday in the world of professional wrestling, in the world of WWE. I talked about the Revival. And they, according to Sean Ross Sapp, have asked for their release. Now, he didn't report that they physically asked for their release, but I'm hearing several reports say that they asked for their release after Monday Night Raw. And who can blame them? Number one. Number two, if you want my thoughts on how the WWE has mistreated and misused the Revival, you guys can certainly go and watch my rant, which is Academy Award winning right now. It's on the channel right now. I'll link you guys in the annotation that you see in the top right corner. But there's even more information about this. A very small detail. It's not small, but it's a big detail, but small in nature compared to everything else that was talked about. Now, we have report of Dash Wilder, real name Daniel Wheeler. After everything that had happened, we found out that on January 1st, they trademarked or tried to trademark the hashtag FTR. Now, of course, that means anything of the following: fuck the Revival, follow the Revival, forever the Revival, or any other variation of F by terms of definition, F the Revival, anything. But it became famous on being the Elite. They haven't been very secretive in what they want to do. They want the Young Bucks. They want to be the best tag team in the world. They've mentioned everything but wanting to be with AEW. So, the next step was to sport the FTR logo, the hashtag FTR logo, on their trunks on Monday Night Raw, which I don't know how that got past everybody on Raw. I really don't know. It has to be that everybody on Raw is incredibly brain dead to not know where that came from. I mean, that's been a thing. That's been a thing for many, 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 many months right now. And the fact that they let them go out there with the hashtag FTR logo either means one of two things. One, that the WWE management team is completely fucking idiotic and brain dead. or two, they really don't give a shit about the fucking Revival. There is a document that has been obtained by Bodyslam.net editor Cassidy Haynes. This proves that there might have been some momentum and preparation for the Revival's WWE exit since New Year's Day, since it was filed on January 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want all my thoughts on the Revival, please go and look at the video that I posted earlier today. It was uploaded on Wednesday around 5 p.m. Eastern Time. 36 minutes of unadulterated rant on the Revival. I don't know what else I could say here. I'll probably end up replaying that on Off the Script. That's how good it was. One take and no hesitation whatsoever. It's kind of been built up for the last 2 years when it comes to the Revival. Now, with one asking for their release, this is going to be a snowball effect. Revival's asking for the release. I'm sure that all others that are disgruntled in the WWE are going to be asking for their releases. Because AEW is a true fucking backup plan. They know that they have something else to fall back on. If you are talented enough and they believe in you, they will take you. Zack Ryder, Tyler Breeze, Fandango, Shelton Benjamin, tag teams like the Revival, Goldust, which I'm hearing now, is also asking for his release. Another one who's been asking for his release is Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis. They requested their release from WWE as soon as the news of the Revival broke on Wednesday afternoon. Now, I'm going to read you the report. I'm going to give you my very brief opinion on Mike Kanellis and everybody that knows Mike Kanellis. If you like Mike Kanellis, if you know Mike Kanellis, then you might not like what I have to say here. But I genuinely don't give a shit because I'm open and honest and I'm real. I don't give a shit what anybody says, and I don't give a shit if I hurt anybody's fucking feelings. WWE right now is in a desperate attempt to keep whatever talent they can because of AEW. The Revival asked for their release on Monday, as reported by Sean Rossap of Fightful.com. And now we have another 2 individuals to add to that list. Pro Wrestling Sheet reports that Mike and Maria Kanellis have asked for their WWE release, and this was a decision that was apparently made weeks ago. Mike and Maria have been very unhappy in WWE for a while now, as evidenced by the tweet Maria sent out recently complaining about how her husband isn't featured on television. She's been doing this for quite some time as well. Now, Mike Kanellis experienced a tremendous physical transformation over the last year, but it didn't help him get featured on WWE television. Instead, he and Maria were moved to 205 Live, which they haven't been featured on at all. And it's possible that a WWE release for Mike and Maria might open another exciting door during a boom in the industry. Let me take a sip of my water before I dive into this and hurt someone's feelings. I don't give a fuck if you know Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis. I don't give a shit if you are Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis. I don't give a fuck if you called matches for them. I don't give a fuck if you traded DMs with them or Facebook messages with them. I don't give a fuck if they're from the same town as you. And yes, I'm talking to you. I don't give a shit, man. Mike and Maria Kanellis made their choice that they were ready for the WWE. In real life, realistically, they were never ready for the WWE. Maria maybe. But Mike Kanellis, she was always the star of that show. Mike Kanellis didn't do, or Mike Bennett, whatever the fuck you want to go by or call him. Mike Bennett was never ready for the WWE. Was nowhere even close to being ready for the WWE. He was on Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling is for the fucking small fish. Impact Wrestling is a promotion that, yes, have breeded WWE superstars, but not for the reasons that they're such a great promotion that they're building up top-tier talent. It was for all the wrong reasons. People were looking to get out of Impact Wrestling because they weren't being paid, they weren't nationally televised on a prime slot, they weren't really doing anything to enhance their brand individually. Mike Bennett thought he was king shit on Impact Wrestling, and at the time he was on Impact Wrestling, he was. People called him the CM Punk. Even me, when I looked at Mike Bennett, he had CM Punk vibes to him. Do you think that was enough to get you signed by WWE? Apparently it was enough. But the thing was, with Mike Bennett, he thought that he was good enough to be in WWE and have a lasting impression in the WWE. And for some fucking fucked up reason, WWE signed this guy to however many years of a contract and tried to debut him on SmackDown Live. They debuted him on SmackDown Live, not on the live show, but they debuted him on a fucking YouTube video in front of a crowd that was on their way out because they had no interest in watching 205 Live. And he was never used, ever. He was using a feud with Sami Zayn. He beat Sami Zayn, and then Sami Zayn beat him. And I swear on fucking Christ Almighty, I don't remember anything that Mike KANELLIS did after that. Do you care? If Mike Bennett walked away from WWE, would you even know Mike Bennett walked away? Probably not. I guarantee you, half of you watching me right now don't even know Mike Bennett, period, and don't even know that Mike Bennett has a WWE contract. Probably most of you thinking right now are thinking, well, Mike Bennett probably was released by WWE, being that I haven't seen him on SmackDown Live, and then half of you probably don't even know that he moved to 205 Live. Who cares? You see, Mike Bennett thought that he was good enough to be in the WWE. He thought he was levels ahead of where he realistically is. And the truth to the matter is, he was not. He was not. Now, I'm not blaming this all completely on Mike Bennett. It's great to strive. It's great to dream. But somewhere deep in the human fucking brain, you know that sometimes you're ready for something and sometimes you're not. I think Mike Bennett received some wrong fucking guidance in this particular direction of his life. He was never ready for the WWE. I'm not blaming Mike Bennett completely. I'm not. This is WWE's fault as well. They took Mike Bennett for whatever fucking reason, and they thought that they could use him for whatever fucking reason. The reasons, I just don't know. I genuinely don't have a reason as to why they would sign this guy. If I'm a talent executive in WWE and I'm looking at Mike Bennett when they signed him, I'm not signing him. I'm not even looking at him. Stay in Impact Wrestling. Continue to build your brand. WWE is to blame just as much as Mike Bennett is to blame here. Honestly. Now, WWE brought him into SmackDown Live. I don't even know why they brought him to SmackDown Live. Why the fuck would you bring that type of guy to SmackDown Live? Oh, well, people are going to know who Maria Kanellis is. This is a completely different fucking audience. The people who knew Maria Kanellis from when she was in WWE the first time, before she went to the Indies, is not going to realize who she is now. There's a new set of fans here that don't know who Maria Kanellis is. And when they brought in Mike KANELLIS or Mike Bennett, they were really riding the coattails of Maria to try and get him over. That's doomed to fail right out of the gate. That is a failure. If you have to rely on A, your wife, or B, your manager advocate, you're a failure. You should be the star of the show, not the fucking manager. So who the fuck is going to care about a Mike Bennett? Realistically, the people in WWE fucked everything up. Yeah, he's to blame for signing. He should have known better. And they fucked him up by not sending him to NXT. Sami Zayn was in NXT for 2 fucking years. 2 years. Look at the amount of time Finn Balor used in NXT. AJ Styles is on record saying that if he had a choice, he would have went to NXT. Drew McIntyre praises NXT every time he talks about it and says he is fortunate enough to be in NXT to get him situated to what WWE does. What the fuck were these people thinking about Mike Bennett to put him on SmackDown Live when no one knew who Mike Bennett was? This guy could have turned out. Imagine if this guy spent 2 years in NXT building his brand, building his craft, honing his character, working on his promos, working on his in-ring ability with Maria. Imagine what he could have been on the main roster. 205 Live, SmackDown Live, Monday Night Raw, whatever the fuck you wanted to do with him. Imagine. You put him on SmackDown Live, you automatically sent this guy to the fucking gallows. Dead. Dead. This guy was lined up on the firing squad, dead on day one. The fact that he missed NXT is a complete fucking joke. Joke. And he's to blame, and WWE's to blame equally. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how he transformed himself. I don't give a fuck what he looks like. I don't give a shit who he is, who he talked to, who called his matches, who he's managed by, who he's married to, how many kids he has, how many drugs he's overcome. You're either ready or you're not. Clearly he was not, and WWE in turn fucked up equally by sending him to the wrong fucking brand. Fuck a Mike Bennett. He's going to walk, good for him. Now you got to start all over again. You had the nice momentum you had in Impact Wrestling before you signed with WWE. Now you got to start all over again. Because the 2 years you wasted in WWE, who the fuck gives a shit about you now, and who remembers you from the work that you did in Impact Wrestling? Things have changed. The world has changed since then. You don't like what I have to say? I don't give a flying fuck. I really don't give a shit. That's what I have to say about Mike Bennett. That's what I have to say about the Revival. NXT. Because I don't really want to be here at all. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm cranky. And I had a few beverages tonight. Don't really want to be here. NXT tonight. Very, very lackluster show. We had Johnny Gargano in action. Keith Lee went one-on-one with Cassius Ohno. Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler had a great promo. We're going to go over everything in just a little bit. If you guys don't know, I mentioned it twice already. I think twice already. If you guys don't know that I uploaded a video about the Revival, go and check it out. Link is in the annotation that you see in the top right corner. Please go and check that out. See the thumbnail right there on the screen. Go and check it out. Great rant. 36 minutes of unadulterated JD. And I love how people tell me, oh, JD, you changed. Where did I change, man? I'm always going to be here to call out WWE and their bullshit. If you don't like it, blow me. Follow me on social media, man. JD from NY206. On social media, Twitter and Instagram. JD from New York. And if you guys want to hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell for all notifications. Please do so, man. Great way to start your new year by subscribing to JD from NY right here on YouTube, man. Thank you guys so very much for all your support. Quickly, let's go over this, man, because I don't want to waste any more of your time. Street Profits opened up the show against Chris and JC Metro, the Metro brothers. Deuce and Domino over here. Clones. Street Profits win here via pinfall. Ford with a high elevation frog splash. The more I see Montez Ford, the more I think he's a fucking superstar in the making, man. Street Profits, I think, are going to have a big 2019. I'm going to be seeing the Street Profits in singles action on Saturday night in Queens during Evolve 120. Can't wait to see what they do there. Should be interesting. Post-match, the Forgotten Sons attack Ford and Dawkins. They try to fight back, but Riker drops Dawkins. Ford tries to fight back in the ring. Riker plants Ford to the mat. Crowd with a "We Forgot You" chant. Dawkins gets in the ring and gets dropped by all three men. Now, the "We Forgot You" chant is not really something that the crowd is doing for fun. Yes, legitimately, we forgot you. The Forgotten Sons are complete garbage. And this is NXT, and some of you might be wondering why I'm so hard on NXT. They are garbage. I don't find interest in any of these three men, and I stick to my guns when I say that Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy, they give me vibes of them. They were tag team champions at one time, yes. They lost those titles to the Vaudevillains, yes. But they have Blake and Murphy vibes to them. And after Blake and Murphy lost those NXT Tag Team Championships, they were absolutely fucking irrelevant. And the Forgotten Sons aren't even going to come close to the tag team titles. And they seem irrelevant already. They just give off this generic, boring, dull vibe that is incredibly difficult to get into. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if WWE doesn't notice this, or NXT in general just doesn't notice this. I notice it. Something needs to be changed about these guys. Something needs to be changed to make these guys a little bit more interesting, because these guys right now are absolutely on a path of fucking failure. If these guys were called up to the main roster right now, they would be Sanity 2.0. They attract and generate zero interest. I don't give a fuck how talented you are. The gimmick sucks. You want my opinion? The gimmick sucks. And this is coming from someone who fucking adores NXT. This is coming from someone who's going to be at Full Sail University on Wednesday following the Royal Rumble. You got a problem with me? Address me then. These guys suck. I'm sorry. A post-match attack from the Forgotten Sons on the Street Profits. Comparing one or the other, the Street Profits are going to come out on top. That's where your money is. The Forgotten Sons, they're exactly what their name says. Forgotten. Do so. Aleister Black is shown in a random location. He asks the NXT champion, Ciampa, if he can feel it. Their match is coming soon. Ciampa foolishly thinks he's safe, but Black fully plans on taking back his title and threatens to start the fight a little bit early next week. So we may get a major program next week between Ciampa and Black. Something to look forward to. Kathy Kelly's backstage. She's talking with Matt Riddle and Keith Lee. Kelly asks if Riddle will be in Lee's corner, but he says he's not medically cleared to be near the ring. Riddle continues that he hopes Lee leaves some of Ono so that he can ultimately finish him off. So there you go. Matt Riddle, I love Matt Riddle, but I can understand why people don't really like what he's doing right now. As far as his promo work goes, the guy sounds completely stoned every time he is behind a microphone. Now, I don't know if that's on purpose or if maybe he really is high as a fucking kite before he gets a microphone thrown in his face, but the guy just sounds like he's absolutely stoned out of his mind, man. I don't mind it at all. I love Matt Riddle. I think he's fucking great. But, you know, I have a lot of people telling me, oh, he's not the future, he's garbage, he's boring, he's bland, he's generic. Yeah, and Monday Night Raw is doing so great, right? You put Matt Riddle on Monday Night Raw, I guarantee you'd be the most charismatic fucking motherfucker on that entire program. Bianca Belair, Bay. She's the other Bay. Toni Storm and Bianca Belair are right there, number 1 and 2. Toni number 1, Bianca number 2. Bianca Belair heads out to the ring, has a microphone. And after sending Nikki Cross packing, 2019 is her year, and she's got 2020 vision on that NXT Women's Championship. Ooh. Really like that one, man. Belair says Shayna Baszler thinks she's the baddest bitch with the rest of the 4 horsemen following behind her. Belair says that she will be taking that title because she's undefeated. Baszler comes out to interrupt, and Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke are with her, following closely behind. Baszler says she doesn't get to see the EST. Now, she might be the strongest or the fastest, but she's not the smartest. Now, Baszler mentioned that she holds records at the PC for being the strongest and the fastest, but she's not the smartest. Baszler continues, it doesn't matter how big or strong Belair's arms are, she's going to rip them off anyway at TakeOver Phoenix. Belair responds, girl, no way, bitch. The only things that these arms are going to be doing is raising the title over my head. Ooh. So, shots fired there by Miss Belair. Baszler then follows up and says, Belair is just like everyone else who comes out here, but Belair is just afraid of the hype. Baszler says she's going to change Belair from undefeated to overrated. She then says Shafir and Duke are the least of Belair's worries and backs them off because you had Duke and Shafir kind of advance and kind of just trying to imitate Belair. Now, Baszler held them back, and that's when she had her back turned to Belair and said, you know, I'm going to change your undefeated to overrated. I absolutely love that. I thought it was fucking great. Belair dispatches Duke and bounces from the ring, and she laughs on her way up the ramp. She evaded the attack from the 3-4 horsewomen. You get what I did there. The 3 of the 4 horsewomen. Ronda Rousey obviously not here. I thought this was great, man. I don't know what they're doing with Bianca, but I don't see right now Bianca winning the title. They certainly could give her the title, and Shayna could get called up. That would be my 3rd attempt in saying Shayna Baszler is going to get called up, and then she finally gets called up. But I don't know, man. Maybe they want to make Bianca the head of the division, and there's no better way than beating Shayna because she's been the very best out of everybody in that division. What a statement that would be. But nobody's beating Bianca. Bianca is not being pinned at TakeOver. Bianca's not losing at TakeOver. If Bianca doesn't win the title, she's going to win via countout or disqualification because of Kyrie or EO or Dakota, something along those lines. But this was great. I thought this was fantastic. And it was the only match on TakeOver Phoenix that was actually built up on this show outside of the Aleister Black promo. So, you know, WWE, like I mentioned before, they already have their shit set up. Everybody's excited for it. There's no need to overdo it on NXT TV. And they're allowed to have a few off weeks. Don't worry about it. They'll be back just like they usually are. That's what I have to say about that. Dominik Dijakovic versus Adrian Jaoud. This was pretty academic, folks. Dominik Dijakovic wins here with a go to sleep. It was a torture rack into a go to sleep. His knee right to Jaoud's face. Very simple. You know, I'm not sure about Dominik Dijakovic. I honestly think after week 1 and then seeing him in week 2, he's very bland and very boring. I don't think this is going to go anywhere unless he has some sort of character, because right now with what he's doing, he is just another body in there trying to act tough, trying to, you know, overwhelm people with his size and his physical strength. There's nothing about him. I'm being honest with you. There's nothing about him that makes me want to see him next week. There's nothing about him that wants me or that wants to see more of him. Nothing. And I'm pretty sure you guys think the same way right now. He beats Adrian Jaoud. Who cares? You know, it's one of those things where if you're not really gaining interest from the fans, you ain't doing shit. Dominik Dijakovic, honestly, is ending up like everybody else that tried and tried and tried with a new gimmick, and they failed. And right now, he's not gaining really any interest from anybody. And I'm watching him, and I'm like, oh, well, whatever. There's nothing about him that makes me want to see more of him. He wins. Big deal. Feast your eyes. Feast your eyes on boredom. Johnny Gargano versus Humberto Carrillo. Now, Humberto Carrillo was actually in the Worlds Collide tournament, or he was announced for at Royal Rumble weekend. They took him out because I'm assuming they kind of spoiled his surprise on 205 Live. He was part of the 205 Live roster. They took him out, and then they proceeded to debut him on 205 Live. So he was here on this particular episode against Johnny Gargano. And this was a good match. People were asking me, why is Humberto Carrillo on NXT fighting Johnny Gargano? Why is Johnny Gargano struggling with Humberto Carrillo? It's because Humberto was promoted to 205 Live. He went from NXT to 205 Live. That's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big deal. To you, it might be, the same shit, but it's a big deal. It's main roster. He's traveling with SmackDown Live. Now, they want to make him look strong because they just debuted him on 205 Live. That's why he got so much offense in on Johnny Gargano. But in the end of this thing, it was Johnny Gargano via pinfall. He landed a super kick, lawn dart into the second turnbuckle, and then he nailed him with a slingshot DDT. 1, 2, 3, Johnny Gargano wins. But I thought Humberto Carrillo did fantastic here tonight. I thought he was great. And I think he's going to fit perfectly in on 205 Live. Beer's coming up. All the beer that I had tonight. Johnny Gargano wins via pinfall. Keith Lee versus Cassius Ohno. I expected this to be better than it was, and it really wasn't all that good. It was entertaining for two big guys, but I enjoyed Keith Lee versus Lars Sullivan much more than I did this. So we had Cassius Ohno versus Keith Lee. Keith Lee loses via pinfall to Cassius Ohno. Lee lifts and sends Ohno across the ring, charges in the corner, gets sent to the apron, slingshot, crossbody, only for a 2 count. Ohno on his knees, begging for Lee to just back off on everything, but he finds more punishment from Keith Lee. Lee with a double chop to the chest, something that I would not want to be on the receiving end of. Ohno tries for a rolling elbow, but he gets blocked. Lee lifts Ohno. Ohno, who grabs the top rope and shoves Lee, knocks the referee down while the referee is dazed. Ohno hits a low blow from behind, hits the rolling elbow. 1, 2, 3. Cassius Ohno beats Keith Lee. Post-match, Riddle comes down to the ring with the referees behind him. Ohno bails out of the ring as Riddle checks in on Lee, and Riddle starts yelling at Ohno as the show closes. Now, a lot of you people are probably wondering why Keith Lee lost this match. I'm not really too concerned about Keith Lee losing this match. He did lose to Lars the last time we seen him, and then we lost to Ohno. Keith Lee is not going anywhere. He's not going to be called up to the main roster in 6 months. Everybody's thinking, when's the next call-up going to be? SummerSlam probably, Survivor Series. Keith Lee's not going to be a part of that graduating class. Don't worry. Keith Lee's going to be down there for a very long time. They took him from the indies. They want to continue to grow his character and build his character, get him right on the mic, get him right with the WWE style and the WWE production. Cassius Ohno is a guy that has been pretty much in the wrong place at the wrong time. They've done nothing with him. To give Cassius Ohno a win is a nice deal every now and then. He's been all over the place, and he's done so many deeds for everybody else. Keith Lee is very popular with the fans. People are obviously into him. Him losing to Lars Sullivan is not that big of a deal. I guarantee you everybody, has forgotten about that. It was Lars Sullivan, and Lars Sullivan was the big monster in NXT. And I even thought, what's going on here? But at that point, I didn't know Lars Sullivan was being called up to the main roster. Now, looking back on it, it all makes sense. And with Keith Lee right now losing to Cassius Ohno, I wouldn't consider this a nail in the coffin. Keith Lee is going to be a very big integral part of NXT moving forward. So a loss to Cassius Ohno and losing to Cassius Ohno is not going to do anything, detrimental to Keith Lee. So don't worry about it. But that's the way NXT ended. Riddle comes out, and they're building towards Riddle and Ohno. And plus, you have to make Cassius Ohno look somewhat strong going into a conclusion with Matt Riddle. You can't have him go into a match with Keith Lee, lose, and then go into a match with Matt Riddle. He's not going to look strong whatsoever. Matt Riddle's hurt. Cassius Ohno got a win over Matt Riddle's good friend, Keith Lee. He looks strong, and that's it. So now they're even. Lee has no factor in any of this. He is the outside factor here. Ohno has already lost to Matt Riddle twice. So getting a win over Keith Lee to make him look strong going to a third match with Matt Riddle is fine by me. So don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen to Keith Lee. Don't worry about it. Cassius Ohno gets the win, rightfully so. He is looking for another match with Matt Riddle somewhere down the line. Maybe NXT TakeOver Phoenix in a traditional wrestling match to open the show. So we'll see what happens there. Thank you guys so very much, man. I'm out of it tonight. I recorded the Revival Off the Script Extra, and I went out for a few beverages with my friend Sean. So if I sounded like I wasn't my normal self tonight, don't worry about it. I'll be back on Friday. Good as new with Off the Script. We're going to go over everything that happened in this week of WWE in extent on Off the Script, episode 257. So don't worry about that. Thank you guys so very much for everything, man. If you enjoyed this, please hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you guys back here on Thursday with something. I'm not sure what I'm doing on Thursday, but probably something. And then Friday, I'll be back here for Off the Script, man. Thank you guys so very much, and I will talk to you all on Friday for the podcast. I'll talk to you later.